piece. And the opening was recorded by the work. So the work engaged the audience and was part of that experience of what the art was about. So where was I? Let me get back, lead up to that. So this idea of experience and interaction, I mentioned Jean Baudrillard and Jacques Derrida. So Jean Baudrillard, Jacques Derrida are especially, Derrida is a literary theorist, right? So he talks about how literature forms consciousness and how words form reality. But when you really start to dig down to this, what he does is he's called a deconstructionist because he deconstructs our theory of reality. And he makes it so you can't really say anything particularly logical, and all of your words are meaningless because our ability to communicate truth is limited by our perceptions and experience of the world. And my perceptions of what I mean are different from your perception of what I'm saying, right? So I'm not actually saying truth, I'm just blabbering, and you think you understand what I'm saying, but you really don't. You know, we understand just enough to get by, but we don't actually understand truth. And we could take this argument way back to Plato and absolute forms. And Derrida is saying we can't touch absolute forms. So that led to the idea of what can art really boil down to? What can we say that's really true? You know, because I've always wanted to communicate ideas very clearly. Very much an idea-driven person. I wanted to say something that had a lot of truth to it. And I realized that I couldn't. I was unable to say truth with my work. All I could do was give you something, and you could interact with it. And that's really the end of it. You know? So at that point, I can't say anything else. I can't say anything about the work. I can just blather at you, which is what I'm doing right now, and tell you something and hope that you get something out of it. So I don't want to tell you, any direct meaning about it. I mean, my wife has ideas. I'll tell you my wife's idea of why I made it, this is purely her idea. But, we have 3 kids now, and we have a 2.5-year-old, and we have twins who are 6 months old, and they cry a lot. So she says this is my, life of screaming babies. So you can either think that it's all my art theory or if it's just my reaction to screaming babies. But I felt like if I was going to make work that was about experience, that experience should evolve. That not only should your experience of the work be the actual work, but also your interaction with the work would change the work in some way. So, which means the floor very intentionally is white so that it will show the scuff marks of your shoes as you walk on it. And the next show, the idea for the next show, if anybody wants to offer me a space, I'll do the next show. And I'll hang these very pieces on the wall with the footprints on them, So the work developed and changed and was created. And when I spilled wine right there in the opening, that's part of the work now, It's not a new idea. I've taken it to a new level in the way now that I'm talking about it, which I swore I wouldn't do. Duchamp breaks his glass and he goes, "Oh, wow, it's done." It's the same kind of idea, but it's more intentional with its not that the work changes through time, but that the work changes because of your experience of it, because of your interaction with it. And the webcam is very much the same way. So the webcam is right here. As you walk around the space, maybe you don't realize you're being recorded, but when you get there, there's a little sign that tells you, "Oh, you're on a webcam, and it's being streamed out to the internet for people to watch." And we're recording it. That's why I have the microphone right now. So it's being recorded, and you're live, right? Which is great, and it makes you somewhat uncomfortable to be on camera. And it makes you somewhat uncomfortable to walk on artwork, and it makes you somewhat uncomfortable to step on somebody's face, right? Which is what we're doing metaphysically or theoretically, right? So I want that experience to be uncomfortable, to provoke you, to make you really, to heighten that sense, maybe, that you're having an experience. And hopefully that makes the work more engaging. That's all I really have. So what I meant by the work, I won't tell you. But the theory that led up to it, that's it. I think I've laid it out, yeah. Yeah, at the floor as much as you want. I mean, try not to take the pieces off the wall and throw them, but otherwise. Oh, yeah. No, I guess not. don't think I would really care. As, that'd be great. That'd be great. I won't tell you to do it or not to do it. I would, I would be excited if whatever happens. Sounds good. And you know, and the neat thing is it's really strong, so it's not going to get damaged. You know, um, no, it's not secret. It's plastic. Yeah, cast plastic. So all the mouths are formed with clay originally. None of them are. They're not cast off of people's faces. So they're all sculpted by hand, and then I make molds and then cast them in plastic. So it's cast plastic, and then the structures are wood with auto body paint. Generally, most of them are auto body paint. That one, I wanted to do something. So I did 2 white circles. The webcam's a white circle, and this one's a white circle. So I decided to do the webcam in high gloss auto paint, and then this one is in a softer acrylic paint. And then this is also an acrylic. The red is in a softer acrylic. But then, you know, well, I made that one. That's one of the last ones I made. But I made this one next, I think, this pink one. And I love the pink one. That's one of my ones that I really get into. I fell in love with that glossiness and the sexiness of it, you know. I mean,